What are examples of toxic femininity?
Breast is best, women who have C-sections aren't real mothers, real women have curves, I'm not like other girls, etc. Edit. Wow, this comment blew up, mostly in regards to the C-section comment. I would like to add that, yes, breast milk is best, I'm actually breastfeeding right now. I'm referring to the women who look down on those who can't or don't want to breastfeed.
I recently learned about gold star lesbians, who've never had sexual contact with men, and discriminate against other lesbians who have. Ain't that some shit? Like, I'm sure many people who now identify as gay, lesbian went through a lot of experimentation before they figured out who they were. That's not something to berate people over.
Women who get mad at other women for warning them that their man is cheating on them.
Women who make fun of other women in hopes it will make her attractive to men. I see it all the time on Twitter. Shit is mad stank coochie energy.
To me it would mean women who bag on other women for womaning differently than they do. This becomes really toxic after childbirth. Some women will feel nothing about letting you know how you are parenting wrong by using this product or letting your child do this particular thing. Women who are able to stay at home will be made to feel guilty for not helping to provide, and women who work are made to feel guilty for abandoning their child. I wish women were more understanding about dealing with differences and letting things slide a bit more. You should never feel higher after putting someone else down. That being said, I don't know how we did it, but I found the world's greatest group of moms when my son was a year and a half old. We came from all walks of life and supported the ever-loving hell out of each other. This was in Phoenix late 90s and we were completely tight until I moved away when my son was 5. I miss all of them.
Women judging other women for using different types of menstrual products. Fey women who use tampons often shit on women who prefer pads. A girl in the grade below me, I'm a senior in high school at this point, passed away unexpectedly due to sepsis. Our whole city was in shock as the girl was in the school just days before her passing. I remember I met up with my girlfriend at the time and she asked, "Why do so many people care about her dying? It's not like she was pretty anyways." This was the type of girl that says, "What? I am so nice." Safe to say, the Lord blessed me with a brain and I GTFO'd that relationship. To this day, she is still in contact with me and recently she complained that guys use her and she can't figure out why nobody will be with her. Well honey, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure that one out.
Well, from what I understand, toxic masculinity is when men practice objectively self-destructive behaviors like alcoholism, avoiding medical treatment, violent criminal behavior, etc., all for the sake of proving how manly they are. The equivalent for women would be self-destructive behavior that's connected to being seen as feminine. I guess some examples would be eating disorders, which are more common for women, excessive plastic surgery, large breast implants, or other body modification surgeries. Women face more social pressure than men to have an attractive appearance, while men face more pressure to be tough. The self-destructive behaviors of both genders tend to reflect these pressures. Edit. Whoa, thanks for the awards. This is my first comment to actually get any.
The idea that a woman should be let off for hurting her spouse since men are stronger, as if the definition of abuse changes depending on your gender. Girls who are not like other girls, girls who are cruel to women who choose to stay at home to raise children, girls who expect men to pay for everything for them.
Amber Heard.
Women who think other women that enjoy cooking, child-rearing, and homemaking are perpetuating stereotype gender roles enforced by the patriarchy. Tearing other women down because what they enjoy doesn't fit into the tiny box of what your version of feminism should be is toxic femininity to the max.
Getting pregnant in order to entrap a guy, then alienating the kids from him when the inevitable breakdown of the relationship occurs.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Fellas, if you encounter a woman that has said or posted that, run like your mental health depends on it, cause it sure as shit does.
Women objectifying young men as sexual playthings, like, "Hey pool boy. Wanna come rub some lotion on my back?" If a cougar does it, it is supposed to be empowering. But if a man said that about a girl waitress by the pool, he'd be a sexist, misogynist pig.
The idea that we need to play dumb, act weak or helpless to attract a man. It drives me crazy being told not to do things because you'll scare the boys off. It's not a universal thing, but it's so annoying when other women say shit like that.
We should be equal. Do your own damn dishes and laundry. Put out the garbage and mow the lawn. Hell no, that's men's work. And #X200B. I've literally met women who refuse to learn to cook because they didn't want to be shoved into female roles, like, geez, that's not a female role, that's basic survival and independence.
Girls who complain about guys not talking about their feelings, but as soon they do or even cry they make fun of them.
Beating on men and expecting to get away with it because boobs.
1. I've legit seen women support other women when they are abusing male partners too. Being a lesbian doesn't make unwanted advances, staring, touching, or flirting less creepy just because you are a woman. 3. Gatekeeping trans people from their own experiences because they commonly happen to cis women. 4. Constantly putting down men, when the man in question hasn't done anything. 5. Conditional feminism.
Thinking females are better than males. That's not what feminism is. Feminism by definition is believing that females and males are equal. If that is not what someone believes, then they are not a feminist. Edit. Wow, thank you for all the upvotes and replies. I was really not expecting that. Edit 2. Thank you kind stranger for my first award.
The whole makeup culture TBH. Telling their friends, you look like an entirely different person with makeup, like it's a compliment, always peeved me. Pressuring each other to look and act more feminine in general TBH. I remember girls in high school being baffled that I don't wear a push-up bra, uncomfortable as hell, and I had nothing to fill up a bra with anyway. I was okay with it, but somehow everyone was telling me I shouldn't be. And telling me I should dress up, aka wear more feminine clothes more often, when I was actually quite proud of my style generally.
Remember the talk when they supported and laughed at the story of the woman who cut her boyfriend's husband's genitalia off? That girl power should not mean condoning dismemberment to another human being.
Using feminism to justify shitty behavior.
When are you having kids? Or, I just don't see how you can be happy without kids. And #X200B. Basically anything that equates femininity, or being a woman, to pop things out of your uterus, the same way lots of toxic masculinity boils down to men use their muscles, and #X200B. Alternative version, what is your ideal husband's job? Or, are you planning on marrying a doctor, or a lawyer? Which turn, being a woman, into, marry as important a man as you can. But that tends to be the step before, and then allow that man to bestow his seed unto your fertile soil, that he may fulfill your role as a walking uterus, which is just a slightly different flavor of the original, when are you having kids?
The inability to congratulate any other woman, genuinely, on their weight loss.
Women on platforms like TikTok saying things like, kill all men 2020, and, men in cages 2020.
Most of these comments are not toxic femininity. Toxic masculinity refers to extreme, narrow traditionally masculine gender norms that are ultimately harmful to men and women and society at large. An example of toxic masculinity is teaching boys that they have to be tough and can't ever cry or express any emotion other than anger. It's saying men have to be aggressive, dominant, and unemotional, and anyone who strays from that is penalized. By that coin, toxic femininity would be extreme, narrow traditionally feminine gender norms that are ultimately harmful to women and men and society at large. An example of this would be teaching girls that they have to be demure and well-mannered and can't assert themselves. It's saying women have to be nurturing, soft, and passive, and anyone who strays from that is penalized.
When Ellen DeGeneres joked about International Men's Day, basically dismissing it sarcastically all like, you mean like every other day? Geez, I'd hope not. International Men's Day is about promoting and supporting cancer screening and early detection for a demographic otherwise squeamish and uncomfortable with the procedure. If it was every other day, my prostate would have calluses.
The claim that we should accept all body types and be body positive, yet every other female profile on online dating sites, apps comes with a "don't swipe if you're under 6 ft tall" disclaimer.
The View.
Complaining about men having high standards, and then themselves wanting a guy that's 6 foot plus, abs, etc.
Self-victimizing. Picking a fight and then pulling out the vagina card when you get hit back. Beating up your boyfriend, then calling the cops on him when he only tries to defend himself from your onslaught, crying about how he beat up a girl so he gets taken to jail. Telling the father of your children that he can't see them if he doesn't pay child support.
R. Nice girls.
Leading a guy on to get a free dinner or drink with no intention of ever talking to them again. The glorification of casual alcoholism, binge drinking, primarily amongst white middle-aged women.
Believing that any form of masculinity is toxic.
Dismissing any rational objection or input from a man as mansplaining.
Serial first dating, goes on date, gets free meal, bullshit excuse to not continue, rinse, repeat, not at all a common occurrence thankfully. Women who degrade and put other women down to make themselves look better.
All sex is rape, everything is the patriarchy's fault, just believe toxic masculinity. There are many more, I can't remember them all. I don't really think there is such a thing as toxic masculinity. They've confused the misbehavior of individual men with masculinity itself. But feminism itself has turned toxic. It hasn't been about equality for a long time, now they want superiority and are constantly denigrating men.
My ex would complain that I would never send her sweet or heartfelt messages. I used to try, but she constantly screenshots and shares everything with her friends. It's very hard to open up and be intimate and vulnerable with someone who shares everything with everyone.
Cancel culture. Women who judge other women for not wanting children or not having mothering tendencies. I don't find babies cute, and the prospect of raising a child doesn't appeal to me. So why is it weird if I don't want them or fawn over baby pics? It's not anti-feminist to not call all babies cute. It's not like I am taking a stance against motherhood for anyone, I just don't want children.
Hitting guys because you can't hit girls.
Don't know if this fits, but privileged white women equating their version of sexism with racism experienced by black folks, specifically underprivileged black folks from the inner city, or even with the struggles of black women all over the world. The girl power ideology extends to believing that all black women should specifically join forces with white feminism and not necessarily black issues. A lot of that has toned down recently, at least from what I've seen, thankfully.
Women mocking men for doing unmanly things. An ex of mine who fucking cheated on me said that I was like the girl of our relationship when I started to show signs of jealousy because she was spending way too much time with the guy she ended up sleeping with. But hey, I should have just been a man and allowed it and stopped being so jealous of their time together. Man shrugging.
Those BuzzFeed videos. Gossiping. I'm not saying men don't gossip, but women are on a whole different level when it comes to social warfare, and in a lot of cases they are experts at weaponizing their words to destroy a person in a variety of different ways.